All right, man. Let's talk about the Lions. The defense has held their first three opponents almost a quarter way through the season to 53 points combined, an average of 17.6 points a game. And I said in the season preview that the Detroit Lions would, in fact, um, I said that they would, in fact, the defense would actually carry them. I said the defense would, in fact, carry them this season, the beginning of the season, in the season preview. And one of the reasons I felt that way, that the defense was going to actually carry them, was because the lack of practices, the 2 a day practices, the lack of playing in preseason. That kind of showed me a lot of things right there when they didn't really play in preseason in the way they were supposed to play in preseason, whatever. And without the practices, 7-on-7s or 11-on-11s, that's not real. Without a real live pass rush and all that type of stuff and one-on-ones, that's not real football or complete real football. So for defense, from my experience of playing football, the defense always came together faster, no diddy, than the offense. So I think that's one of the things that you see in here is that the defense has some new faces and especially in some new places, but a few familiar places. But offensively, even though more of them guys are familiar, there's no supplement for live action football. So when you don't play, you know what I'm saying, you don't play preseason to get those them live snaps. You start off shaky, and a lot of offenses have started off shaky. Man, look across the league. I mean, Minnesota just literally shut out Houston, and their offense is rolling with Sam Darnold. You just keep rolling around the ring, you keep around the league, and you keep looking. And it's some teams that just literally, that's just not really hitting their stride, and you're not really going to hit your stride. You got a lot of teams out here struggling, you really do. But I mean, the Browns just lost to the Giants. But, what you seeing here was a lot of talk about fire Aaron Glenn and all this type of stuff. And he just didn't have the horses on the back end. So now they stopping the run. They're getting some pressure up front, a little pressure. Anzarike had a really good pressure on Kyler Murray after he came back from the injury. Hutchinson got a sack late, now that they're getting a little bit push up front, now on that back end, they got guys that can make plays. And, and really they probably wouldn't have gave up as many points as they did if it wasn't for the PI calls. And, yesterday was a big talk about Terrion Arnold. It was huge talk about Terrion Arnold not getting his head around. And he got his head around on that actual play yesterday. His head, he turned his head around. He played it, but then you turn around, even this play from last week with Palmer. Then you turn your head around. Right? You turn your head around yesterday and it still get called. So, and honestly, he having some injury issues, but he getting his head around. He turned his head. So, I don't really understand, but he's starting to make the adjustment. They say, oh, get your head turned around. He get his head turned around. So, but he playing. You can see it's a clear upgrade. He did a great job on Marvin Harrison Jr. yesterday. That touchdown was on Carlton Davis. That was just a great play design. Carlton Davis made a great play on Kyler Murray when he hit that corner and stopped him on that fourth down attempt. So yeah, they playing ball. You could tell the difference in the secondary. Even the tackling is better. The pursuit is better. And the whole, and I know a lot of offenses getting off to the struggle bus. We on the struggle bus. But anytime you can hold offense, like in Arizona, who had 28 points versus the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo, you know what I'm saying? Turned around, dropped 41 on the LA Rams, and then you hold them to 13 points. And had the offense continue to score the ball and not turn the ball over, they wouldn't have had 13 points. They held the Bucks to 20 points, and a lot of them points, a lot of that issue had to do with turnovers, and the Lions not converting touchdowns. When your offense is able to convert touchdowns and not field goals, and they're able to protect the ball, that affects the defense. Versus Matthew Stafford, it was pretty much the offense once again sputtering down the stretch, struggling on the struggle bus in the third quarter. That's what it was. It was a struggle bus in the third quarter. And the offense is the reason these teams are even getting the points that they getting with turnovers and field position issues. And you know what I'm saying? That's why. That's why. So the defense really could have gave up a lot less points if the offense continued to be on their P's and Q's like they was yesterday. But they got to figure out that fourth quarter. I don't know if they got to bring in a liaison or some assistance on how we can break through in that third quarter. I don't know. They got to figure that out. But, kind of looking at some of the teams that they was dealing with and how they did this season. Hold on real quick. Or at least yesterday. Tampa Bay got crushed by Denver. I kind of seen that coming. Riding that high off, beating us, laying the egg at home. They got held to 7 points. But the Rams scored 27 points shorthanded on the 49ers. We held them to 13 points. They had 28 points week 1 on the road in Buffalo, 41 points last week and 13 points. So, the Lions is actually doing their thing. They actually doing their thing. Kirby Joseph with a pick. The DBs getting their head around playing the football. Besides a couple bad, a few questionable pass interference issues. They playing. A lot of people was calling for Aaron Glenn's job. A lot of people was calling for Aaron Glenn's job. A lot of people were. And these boys are balling. These boys are balling. They balling. They balling. They balling. And Aaron Glenn needs some credit because a lot of times we was tired of him. We need to fire him. He did an excellent job covering up for what they had last year in the secondary. So obviously he know football. Obviously he know how to make the proper adjustments. And right now, he made a great adjustment yesterday. Let's not forget it. Kyler Murray and them, they marched right down. We scored. They marched right down the field. They marched right down the field. Right down the field. And really after that first drive, it was lights out from there. It was lights out from there. Literally, it was lights out from there. After that first drive. So, man, credit to the Lions defense. Credit for Aaron Glenn for calling defense, making adjustments. And right now, he got them boys playing. And they only, as long as they stay healthy, they only gonna get better the more camaraderie they build. The more camaraderie they build, they only gonna get better. They only gonna get better. So yeah, he called a great he called a great game yesterday. They made adjustments, they getting pressure, and now he don't literally have to blitz to get pressure, but he always can blitz and keep that in his back pocket. He can also keep that blitz in his back pocket. So all them blitzes that he probably dialed up last year, and probably some he didn't get a chance to dial up. He got them in his back pocket. So right now, you could just play, man to man and straight up, you know, you know, that's the beauty of it. So thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Check out Detroit Lions Talk playlist. Hit the link tree. Find me on X, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Apple Podcast, Spotify, Amazon. Well, just Spotify and Anchor. Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Appreciate the love, support. All that's in the description. Let me know. Sneak in the comment section. Peace.